Good morning, my garden and YouTube friends. I'm standing out here in the front of my house and I'm looking at this tree. It's an elm tree. It's a Drake elm tree. And it drops all these wonderful little leaves. And I've had it for 11 years maybe. And it was, of course, just a little stick at the time. And I think of the evolution of gardening in the common gardener, myself, a common gardener, and my dad, a common gardener. And I grew up in Pennsylvania, and how we treated leaves 60, 70 years ago. I'm 70, so my dad was in charge of it back then. And he would always rake up his leaves and he would leave them out on the curb because this was pre-plastic bags. So you either put it in some sort of a bin for the trash guys to pick up, or they just actually would kind of heap them up on the curb side, and the street sweeper would come through and he would pick them up, and do this every week during the season when the leaves were falling, which of course if you're up north, it's what do you have, maybe 8 weeks of it falling, and then they're deciduous trees, you're bare. Here we have quite a long time, but going back to that, my dad would then every year buy a big bale of peat moss that he would go and then spread around his rhododendron and his Pfister junipers and all of his different winter shrubs. That it made it beautiful, but he still, in his mind, maybe paying, $7, $8 for a bale of pine peat moss back then was, highway robbery. So I think the man was so frugal. I mean, I think he still had his first dollar, but he and my mother saved and they did it that way. But it never occurred to them that the leaves they had would have made just as great a ground cover for their plants, and it would have broken down and been just as beneficial. Now, I'm a gardener since probably 1970, 71, so pretty close to 50 years. And it never occurred to me that how I'm throwing away brown gold. So along the way, learning more about gardening and more about gardening, we learn these different things. And we take them either as poo-poo. Ugh, I don't want to be bothered with that. I'd rather have a nice black or red or brown or natural color mulch in my yard because I want it to look good. Or we can say, gee, this would break down my compost heap. I'd have great rich soil. I wouldn't have to keep adding to it. Excuse me. And I could save this and keep it from going into the landfill, because that's really where it goes. I mean, I think we all think that the trash men take it to trash heaven and that it becomes something wonderful again. But, we are piling up more and more and more unwanted, unused, undigested trash that someday we're going to be buried in too much of all of this. So my tip for you, my tip for the day is to read more and think about more of what you can take from your trees and from your shrubs and from your grass and turn it back into something that would grow a very pretty, healthy floral yard, or you could grow some vegetables and feed yourself, or give them away, whatever you wish to do. So that's my tip for the day. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. And I'll just show you my bougainvillea are starting to bloom again, and they look so pretty. And hopefully they'll look really pretty at Christmas. And my caladiums are still in bloom, and they're looking good. So garden what you've got and get out today. It's a beautiful day here in Florida, Zone 9B, but I'm sure it's beautiful still in many parts of the world. So take care, and I wish you all a very safe and happy and healthy weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.